What if you could get small town Texas vibes, top tier schools, amazing master plan communities, or large lot luxury homes, all within striking distance of Dallas-Fort Worth? That's Argyle, Texas. Today I'm breaking down the pros and cons of living in Argyle so you can decide if it fits your lifestyle and your budget. Stay tuned. Today's goal is simple: give you the no-fluff pros and cons of living in Argyle so you can decide whether or not it's right for you. Why now? Argyle is experiencing some serious growth. From acreage homes and horse properties to new construction master plan communities like Harvest and Canyon Falls. If you want space and schools without giving up access to Dallas and Fort Worth, then Argyle should be on your short list. Hey, I'm Brian White with Bluefuse Group at eXp Realty. My family and I help people make smart moves, build wealth through real estate, and protect what matters most. If you're exploring DFW suburbs, you're in the right place. Hit subscribe and drop a comment on what neighborhood you want us to cover next. We make new videos every week and we look forward to hearing from you. Pro number one is small town feel and space. If you're craving a little breathing room, Argyle's your place. Think wide open lots, peaceful streets, and a hint of country charm. It's not uncommon at all for your neighbors to have horses or cattle on their land. Lots of green space, beautiful trees. Argyle's an amazing area. It's the kind of town where people still wave. Friday nights means football. You've heard of Friday Night Lights, right? And life just moves a little slower without being out in the sticks. Pro number two is strong school options. Argyle ISD is widely respected for academics and athletics, and many families move here for the schools. Zoning can vary by address, so you always want to make sure that where you're buying is in the zone you're looking for. There are a couple of neighborhoods in particular where that can really be a challenge, so make sure you're working with a real estate agent that can help you with that. So when I say Argyle schools are great, I mean I'm talking Argyle ISD is the number 9 school district in all of Texas. So out of nearly 900 school districts, Argyle is number 9. That's the definition of the 1%. So as always, you should do your own research. We do ours at niche.com. We talk a lot about that. If you've watched any of our videos, you know that we're going to guide you to niche.com. For example, Argyle ISD gets an A+ rating. Double check, you're going to want to go down school by school. Argyle High School, for instance, is ranked 67th out of more than 1,800 high schools in all of Texas. That's amazing. There are also private school options available. Like Liberty Christian is a super popular option that just sits right in the heart of Argyle. So whether you're thinking public or private, if education's important to you, then Argyle is hard to ignore. Pro number 3 is the variety of homes. Old school charm to new builds. You've got choice. From established communities with character, acreage and custom homes, or new construction in master plan communities with all sorts of amenities, like trails, pools, and clubhouses. There's a really wide mix of lifestyles available in Argyle, from quiet cul-de-sacs to amenity-rich communities. Really, almost no matter what you're looking for, Argyle has it. All right, now that you've got all the pros of Argyle, we're gonna talk a little bit about the cons. But before we get into that, we thought, why don't we just spend a little bit of time talking about the prices and what you get for your money in Argyle. So one of the most interesting things about Argyle is the breadth. We're gonna talk about the median home price in Argyle, but more than just about any other area you're going to look at or you might consider, there's just a really wide swath of what Argyle has to offer. There are home prices ranging all the way from townhomes in areas like Harvest and small kind of starter homes in Canyon Falls, but starter homes in terms of size, not necessarily in terms of price, and then ranging all the way up to acreage and land and ranches in the $2, $3, $4 million range. So really wide area, really wide breadth of price points and different kinds of products that are available to you in Argyle. So let's just jump right in and say that the median home price in July of 2025 was $975,000. You heard that right. The median home price is roughly $1 million. So what does that mean? What does median mean? If you're not a statistician, then median should mean to you that 50% of homes were priced below $975 and 50% of homes were priced above 975. So that really is kind of the midpoint of overall homes on the market in July. If you're looking at the entry point for Argyle, then you're going to be looking in some of the master plan communities. There are some one-offs where there's an older manufactured home or maybe a mobile home that's sitting on a piece of land that might be below that. But for the most part, you're looking at the entry-level homes in Canyon Falls or Harvest. And you might also be wondering, hey, why are those included in Argyle? So when we think about Argyle, we think about horse farms. That's what Argyle is known for, the country and horse farms. Well, a good bit of Canyon Falls is actually in the Argyle city limits. A lot of it's in Flower Mound as well, so you need to make sure when you're looking at that particular area that you know exactly where it is that you're buying. There's also some school district things you need to think about between Argyle ISD and Northwest ISD. So if that doesn't complicate it, you got two cities, you got multiple school districts. Just make sure you're buying where you thought you were buying. The other area is an area called Harvest, and it's a huge master plan community. Honestly, it's traditionally, and if you watch some of our other videos, you're going to hear us talk about it in an area called North Lake. However, parts of it are also in Argyle ISD and also within Argyle city limits. So the results for Argyle are a little bit all over the board, but you can find in those master plan communities homes. Now you can find townhomes that are starting even in the 300s. So it really is a great entry point to a great area. So when you're thinking about the entry point for Argyle and for those neighborhoods, you're typically going to be looking at smaller homes. They're going to be smaller homes on smaller lots. They'll be 3-bedroom, 2 or 2.5 bath homes in the 1,500 plus square foot range. Depending on where you're coming from, that may or may not be a small home, but 1,500 square feet on smaller lots. And it's going to be a great place to get started. Might even be a great place to downsize if you're looking for a single-story home to come down from something larger. Perhaps after the kids have left home and you're looking for something that's a little bit more manageable. Now, the sweet spot in Argyle is going to be in that $600,000 to $800,000 or $900,000 range. Now, there's going to be a lot of the homes in master plan communities. Again, we're talking about Canyon Falls or Harvest. There's an area called Waterbrook that's right there at 407 and 377. It's a big intersection. There are other neighborhoods in areas like Country Lakes. So there's a lot of great neighborhoods in the Argyle and just slightly surrounding areas. In that 600 plus range, you're going to see homes that are 3,000 to 4,000 square feet. Lots are going to start getting a little bit larger, and you're going to have more features, more amenities, and in many cases, the neighborhoods are going to have things like pools, basketball, tennis courts, gyms, places for people to hang out and play. Shoot, in Harvest, there's even a coffee shop. There's a lake and a pond. I say lake, it's a big pond. It's a huge pond, and it's stocked. You'll see people fishing out there, which those amenities, they not only create places for people to go, but it's also a great way to create community. People get together, they have a good time, and just get to know each other. On the luxury end, Argyle is known for its estate-style properties. When you're driving down roads like Frenchtown or Hilltop, you're going to see on both sides of the road just some beautiful, really most of the country is going to call them mansions. They're going to be 5,000-6,000+ square feet. You're going to be on 1 acre to 5 acres. And in many cases, you're going to see some old ranches, some old horse farms that are just now starting to break up and become communities. The thing about Argyle, though, is they're limited to developments with lots greater than 1 acre. So even as new neighborhoods come through, you're going to see those continue to be large estate-style homes. There are a number of areas in Argyle where they're selling 2+ acre lots. Right now, those are going for $700,000 plus. You heard me right. So 2 acres, that's a lot. That doesn't include a house. That's before you even get started, are running at $700K. But one of the things I always think about and advise people when, if you're buying one of those lots and looking to build a custom home, is you never want your lot to be more than 25 to 30% of your home cost. So that means if you're spending $700,000 for your lot, then you want to at least 3x that for the home. So you're looking for, at least 2.4, 2.5, perhaps north of $3 million. Why is that? Well, price per foot is always a comparison point. It's one of the ways that you decide whether or not your house is priced competitively, and land is a big driver of that. And if your land is too much, so let's say you build a 3,000 square foot home on a 2 or 3 acre piece of property that cost $1 million, well, it can easily make your price per foot something that is very difficult to sell in the long run. But when you're thinking about luxury homes in Argyle, it's beautiful land, it's beautiful homes in a wide variety. You can get a lot of privacy, you get a lot of space, and the greatness about about Argyle is it's really not far from Denton, from Flower Mound, even from Trophy Club and South Lake. It's close to a lot of employers, so you can still get the benefits of living out in the country without having to drive an incredibly long way to get to work, to get to dinner, and to get all the things that you want. The key takeaway: Argyle isn't going to be the cheapest suburb, but what you're paying for is you're paying for space and privacy, that country feel, while still getting a great school district and lifestyle. And those factors that even as the market shifts, homes in Argyle are going to continue to hold their value. The data from July of 2025 shows that home prices actually increased 35% year over year. So this isn't a flat market for most of DFW and for most of the country, but home values in Argyle have increased substantially over just this last year. What does that mean? That means it continues to be a great investment, and we expect to see that going forward. Hey, quick pause. If Argyle is on your radar, then let's build your buyer's game plan. I'm Brian White with Bluefuse Group, and my family helps buyers compare neighborhoods and make confident moves. We literally have a buyer's blueprint that will walk you through. It's a proven process that will walk you through helping you find a home that's great for you. You can book an appointment with us at the link in the description, and we'll help you map out the right fit for you. Now let's talk about neighborhoods, because Argyle has a really interesting mix. We're gonna get started with an area called Harvest, and you heard me mention it just a minute ago. One of the interesting things about Harvest is, so a good bit of it maps to Argyle ISD, and although it's typically in an area that we call North Lake, many of the addresses are actually in Argyle, so it ends up being a really interesting mix. The thing about Harvest is, I'll be the first to tell you, when it first started, I actually didn't like the neighborhood. I thought it looked very plain and simple, and honestly, when it started, it was out in the boonies. I mean, it felt like it was literally out in the middle of nowhere. What's happened is Harvest has exploded. It has more than doubled, tripled, and quadrupled since it got started, and lots of stuff are building up around it. There's a grocery store in that corner. There's a Chick-fil-A. There are restaurants. There are so many things that are happening just right on the front steps of Harvest. And really, around here, we say that if you've got a Chick-fil-A, you have arrived, which means that Harvest is now the place to be. Inside Harvest, there's a ton of amenities. There's an amazing, just quaint little coffee shop. There are a number of gyms. There's a basketball court for kids to play. There's running space. There are sidewalks. It's a great place to run and get out and walk. You can get out and push a stroller with your dog attached. You can really enjoy the neighborhood environment. I think I mentioned earlier, there's a stocked pond. There's swimming pools. I mean, there's just so much that Harvest has to offer. One of the other things I love about it is, just like all of Argyle, but Harvest in particular has a wide range of homes and price points, going all the way down to the villas and some small attached townhomes, all the way up into homes that are more than 4,000 square feet. The reason I love that is, number one, I think it creates variety, and variety is just interesting in life, but it's also fascinating because people can start maybe in a starter home in that villa and then move up as their family or the needs grow, or as the kids leave home, the empty nester, people can stay in the same community and downsize. So if you fall in love with Harvest as a community, then it ends up being a great place no matter what your stage in life. That in itself was a great Harvest video. Next up is Canyon Falls, and Canyon Falls is another amazing master plan community. It's going to be located a little bit closer to town, and by town I'm talking about Flower Mound or down to Trophy Club and South Lake. Canyon Falls is an awesome master plan community. One of the things that I really love about it is, we spent 10 years down in Austin, and Austin is known for its hill country and its exposed rock and its landscape, and Canyon Falls to me very much has that feel. When you drive through it, it's got rolling hills, you see exposed rock, there are bridges as you flow through creeks, and it just makes it a really attractive neighborhood. There are a number of ponds and pocket parks all throughout the neighborhood. There are a lot of different builders. There are builders ranging all the way from kind of an entry-level first-time home buyer. Now, granted, when I say first-time home buyer, you're spending $400 plus, so it's not necessarily the most affordable place out there, but at entry point, when the median price in all of Argyle is $975, if you can get into that area for $400, then that ends up giving you plenty of room to run. So there's a wide range of homes, from K. Hovnanian homes to Perry to Highland homes to on the higher end, there's a lot of different size Toll Brothers and Drees. There are some beautiful homes, really almost no matter what your price point. It's going to be you're going to be able to find a place in Canyon Falls. For something a little bit more luxurious, you're going to want to explore 5T Ranch. It's on the very north end of Argyle. It's really kind of at the Argyle and Denton border. It's just down the street from Denton Country Club, which if you're going to check out 5T Ranch, then you owe it to yourself to check in at Denton Country Club. Over the last number of years, they've done a phenomenal job renovating the clubhouse. It's a beautiful, tight golf course that's a lot of fun to play, but 5T Ranch is going to have larger lots. It was built by Our Country Homes, and there were 2 builders in there that were just amazing, and you get some good variety. So they just got some really cool style homes, and I think you're gonna love it if you check it out. Another great neighborhood is the Oaks of Argyle. What's really fascinating about the Oaks is they're actually smaller lots, but it is a really eclectic group of custom home builders that built in there. So it has a really old school feel, and since the lots are so close and tight together, it really has this tight-knit community feel. It almost feels like a small town downtown when you're driving through the neighborhood. It's also at a great location at the corner of 377 and 407, which gives you quick highway access just about anywhere you want to go. Just south of that is a neighborhood called Waterbrook. This is going to be much more newly constructed, much more new construction than just about any other areas. Again, wide range all the way from 50-foot lots all the way up to the 70s. There is a creek running through that. That's what Waterbrook is all about. It gives it a beautiful feel, great trails that you could walk through, and it's just a lot of fun and a great way to get some new construction in the Argyle area. Finally, the last Argyle area I'm going to talk about is, and this is really more if you're into the equestrian lifestyle, is an area called Suburbs. So these are multi-acre homes. They're luxurious for the most part. They're larger and beautiful. They're going to be multi-million-dollar properties, but that whole neighborhood it's right off of 407 and it's wrapped around a stable. So if you or your children have horses, if they're into horseback riding, then Suburbs can be a great spot. You get the luxury lifestyle, you get the stable right there in your front yard in most cases, and easy access to Liberty Christian School out the back end of the neighborhood and into many other areas out the front. Although Argyle has a ton going for it, there are definitely some cons. Let's dive into a few of those. Con number 1 is long drives and limited nightlife. Argyle is definitely not a walkable downtown scene. I mean, there isn't actually a downtown. You'll be driving a long way for most errands, and if you're looking for nightlife, Argyle's not it. If you're looking for a long restaurant list, then you're probably driving to Roanoke, Southlake, or Denton. For many families, that's fine. You just need to know the trade-off and the drive time. Con number 2 is growth pains. That means construction and traffic pockets. With growth comes ongoing traffic problems, and that can occasionally show up in the form of bottlenecks. Bottlenecks in major traffic corridors like 377 and 407. That intersection in particular is a really big one. School boundaries have been known to shift as the area grows, which is another reason to confirm your address and see if it's on one of the lines that might be subject to moving. One thing I'll say about Argyle is they've really been doing everything they possibly can to control and shape the growth. At times that's been a problem because the town council has been very anti-growth, like trying to keep the growth from coming in, and that's kept some of the infrastructure a little bit behind where it needs to be considering some of the master plan communities that came in. So that's what I'm talking about when I say that bottlenecks and traffic problems can be a challenge. They're working on the roads. There is a plan for things to improve, but right now it's a bit of a challenge. Con number 3 is taxes, HOAs, and varying assessments. Property tax rates, HOA, and things like PIDs or MUDs and their associated assessments can vary by community. They do vary by community, especially in the new master planned areas. For the most part, none of this is a deal breaker, but it definitely is something that factors into the budget and something that you need to be aware of. We'll walk you through it when you're comparing neighborhoods so you know what your budget's going to look like. If you want space, schools, and a strong community feel, Argyle belongs on your list. If you want urban walkability or a big nightlife scene, you'll likely prefer elsewhere. It's all about fit. If you've got questions about Argyle or you want to compare it to Roanoke, Flower Mound, or other neighborhoods in DFW, call or text 817-835-8999 or hit the link on the screen, also included in the description below. And grab a free copy of our Blue Fuse Buyer Blueprint at the link below. If this video helped, be sure to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss the next one. We make videos every week where we compare neighborhoods, schools, commute, and pricing, so you can make a confident decision whether you're moving to DFW or making a move in DFW.